one hopes that they're going AD Varus or on-hit Varus, because they have a lot of magic damage in the team, and the only person who's really doing AD damage is the Gangplank. Obviously, it's not negligible, but it's very, very AP focused and loaded at the moment.
I think something that is quite a good move for PCS is Bedoma, who usually plays like typically carry junglers, switching over to the supportive tanky Sejuani, so that Arins and Junna, both of probably the strongest points of this roster, on really comfortable, really, really strong picks, huge damage, a lot of outplay potential with them. But I think Orin definitely going to struggle a little bit in these early levels. And I don't suspect either team has too much interest going for a level 1 fight.
Yeah, they both really scale heavy comps. They both, yeah.
I think maybe setting up a little bit more defense on this red buff for PCS, but just a standard 5 point for E4 here.
Yep, the Master 7 flex. Arins landed. Yeah, Arins landed arrow. It's game over.
The tier start for Orianna, both Orianna and Syndra. I don't know about the tier start for Syndra into a Tristana though. That feels like it could go wrong very, very quickly. Without that
so tier is the same as Cull, where it's a very ego buy or to start off with. You want to sort of guarantee early scaling, which means that you get a lot stronger in the mid game very, very quickly.
Trying to go for something, but absolutely no way. This is Blaziken keeping him out of his team's jungle. But I think
just refusing to live in.
Just a lot of information denied. No areas starting topside is going to pass straight into bot.
But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, the tier is a very greedy beginning. Because it's a gamble, right? If you take tier and you don't die immediately and you get your first back off, meanwhile, heavy trading in mid lane.
Arins has that lethal tempo fully stacked, and Jennifer is going to have to back off. A lot of damage taken level 1.
Yeah, exceptionally confident. Yeah, exceptionally confident start from Arins to just sort of stand in the minion wave. Just hit Jaina Pradmal.
One thing I really like is the phase rush for Syndra here, because that will be a world of hell for getting away from that Tristana.
Do you know phase rush procs off of summoner spells as well, or if it's just normal spells?
I don't think it does off the top of my head. So
because I know it procs off of smite. I know it procs off of smite.
I mean,
yeah. So the
I don't
Syndra
think combat summoners much on mages, so I don't know.
It's particular on like Sejuani jungle if you run phase rush. A lot of junglers, Poppy included, where you do W, E, and then smite, and you get phase rush. Nunu's the same. He gets phase rush off of smite. Yeah.
I actually know that. I mean,
so I wonder if Syndra gets phase rush off of exhaust or flash.
I mean, I typically take phase rush on like mages and tanks into things like Tryndamere and Darius, where I like really feel like I need that movement speed to get away. I don't really use it for chasing as much, but most of the time on mages I'd rather just go like first strike or area usually. But if it calls for it, it calls for it. That was also opting for Unsealed Spellwork. That's a rune I am scared to use because I don't think I'm good enough to use it, quite frankly.
From what I've seen, especially in pro play, Orns are picking this Unsealed Spellbook for
range method.
Just the versatility that it gives you.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you can really realistically get the grass procs onto the Gangplank anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the best thing when you'd have no option.
And it's 1 HP and it's a first blood for Arins already. Just took one too many auto attacks. And then the stacked up Blight passive. But Arins is going to find himself in a lot of trouble here. Ares comes in. Both are going to hit the Ghost. They're going to be playing Ring Around the Rosie with each other. The Q does land. But he's not going to be able to find anything from that. Potentially quite scared of Benomu popping out from anywhere, who is on his bottom side Krugs, but obviously Ares doesn't know that. And That could be a problem. Ori really gonna struggle to find prio in this mid lane early now.
It seems bad now, but I've always imagined like Orianna's more scaling pick.
Yeah. She will be fine, but
yeah.
for a little bit it might be difficult for the team in general around her.
Yeah, because she did also opt for the tier. She opted for something slightly more defensive. I think she lives there, or I think Orianna lives there. I think Jaina, he can sort of outplay that slightly more. He's just sort of out. He went for the early tier start and greed kills.
Jonah getting very low here. Does have to get that citrus, but Cargilly going to zone away Blaziken and Joseph from this Scuttle Crab, and as a result of that fight in mid lane earlier, Ares gonna fall a little bit behind. A lot of control around the map here in general for PCS.
Just out of interest, like if you look at these comps, how much gold do you think you need to be ahead for the game to sort of be written off, like at minimum? Because
maybe at this point in the game.
I would agree, but it feels like everyone's going to be sort of building the same items.
Because there's a Rod, or not a Rod, excuse me, going straight in for Ares, straight into his jungle, and that's going to be a free pickup. The Chain of Corruption, not Rod of Corruption, excuse me. Making it a free pick, and Ares is going to fall. Ares needs that 3-man invade. And it's
he does get the smite off onto his Gromp though. So he doesn't really lose too much from that because he had already cleared his entire bot side. But still very, very unfortunate. I think he was expecting them to reset off of drag. And they would probably anticipate that he was going to think the exact same.
Yeah.
As the Berserker Greaves on the Varus gets picked up. Making those auto-for-auto trades.
I think he's sitting on a little bit of gold now. Yeah, he's sitting on about 1k. I think he did have that for the fight just then, so... Probably sitting on quite a nuclear right now. Oh, there it is, yeah, right on cue. Picks up that nuclear, going back to lanes. We have to clear those waves so quickly and easily. But... definitely... a little bit of trouble here in the beginning for E4.
Yeah, kind of rough, but
chunk of damage here. There's a GP already. His damage is second. The ult's gonna come in as well. He's not gonna be able to catch up to him in time. Maybe not quite enough damage just yet, but is able to force his Ornn out of lane to an extent. Did start with that giant spell. I'm not sure what that builds into. I don't quite know what he's looking for there.
What item are we looking at?
The giant spell for
Ornn? It can go into a lot of stuff, actually.
The chair crafter coming out into the mid lane. It's huge damage already for a Rins, and the cleanse having to be popped for Generous Proudmoore to get out of that. I cannot remember the name of that ability. I've messed it up twice already. Generous Proudmoore. Oh, the ult goes wide. He's able to flash out of it. But Over just about misses with it.
Keeping in mind, previous trades like that would have killed Jaina almost immediately. The fact that they're getting away quite healthily does bode for better omens for this team, but we have to see when Varus starts building more damage.
EP as well, scaling. Have a look at what his stacks look like right now. 100 of those silver serpents already. Just 8 minutes into the game.
So I just checked the Giant's Bolt and a Kindle Gem builds into Heartsteel.
Oh, fair
Heartsteel.
enough. Fair enough, okay. I don't know how I feel about Heartsteel this game, but...
Lots and lots of HP. I think it's also like best mythic. Ever since they took away they made Sunfire Cape a legendary. And then you don't really want to build... I don't really see a reason to be building Frostfire Gauntlet on one. So it's either Heartsteel or it's Jack Show. But I don't think the fights are going to...
I quite like Anathema's Rush on Ornn and things like Mordekaiser or Gangplank.
Potentially, It could be. He has, when he gets 800 gold, we'll see, because he can just build it straight from, he has all the components he needs for it.
Yeah. But things have quieted down a little bit since we saw early invade, but a 1k gold lead sitting on now, but I don't know who has the scaling advantage here. I think somewhat level, but I'm probably PCS by a little bit.
I'm inclined, once again inclined to lean towards E4 because that Ornn.
Ornn items, yeah, I completely forgot they exist. But
because Ornn gets.
He's gonna get so much gold for this area. He's waiting for that to pop up, but the lead goes just wide. The tornado was enough to keep him at bay for a very short amount of time. The binding goes wide. Blazes finds himself in a lot of trouble as well. Targillion is going to fall in the end here, but so is Ares in turn. It's a 1-for-1 so far. 3 kills to 1. Frostwolf gets caught out by the binding as well. Definitely, I think, a positive net overall for PCS. And just more gold for Orange with the call of the Forge God is here. Riz has to flash away, but Frostwolf gets away from 2 of those with the 1 flash. The jump over the wall for Joseph. They're going to be kept at bay by the different slows. And they all get out with their lives. The Dark Binding goes just wide.
Yeah, Rins had to burn Flash and Ghost for that.
Escapes with that 200 gold bounty though, and it's just so far ahead. They are looking for it as they should be. Oh, again, just doing so much damage already. Oh my god. A WQ.
Yeah, it's quieting down quite a bit. That skirmish in the mid lane, Syndra ended up getting a kill, which I think is worse than anyone else getting the kill because it sort of starts accelerating her passive, meaning that she's going to be doing more and more damage later. Mordekaiser doesn't really have that on switch. Yeah, he doesn't really have a point. He doesn't have a definitive point where he gets extremely dangerous. Syndra does. When she gets her fully stacked passive, then she has, I think, plus 25% bonus AP, 15%. Mordekaiser doesn't really have anything like that to look forward to. Unlike the Ornn, for example, where if Ornn gets to finish his 5th item, he is, I think, 50% more tanky, or 50% tankier. It's something along those lines where he starts off with 20% damage to this, and then for every item he builds, he gets.
It's an increase in his stats. He gets a percent increase in health and resistances.
Yeah, bonus armor, bonus magic, and bonus health from all sources, and he gets increased by 40. So it becomes.
Rush. He wants to survive this laning phase.
Double, it's twofold as well because he can always just put it on the Varus. Should the need arise, he can sort of transition that onto Varus later.
If you're a really strong item, I think it's undervalued a little bit.
Yeah, I think more people need to be building Anathemas. It gives you, it's a permanent exhaust basically. It's genuinely permanent exhaust. And it doesn't matter if Varus is doing 700 damage on an arrow if he's doing 30% less damage.
God, again, it's a huge push into mid. He's gonna fall without getting any returns to shut down for Proud War, but she is going to fall to the cannon barrage in the end. And it's a 1-for-1, but I think Scott will definitely be okay with that shutdown going straight into his pocket. Gets the mythic, gets the step closer to that Archangels. It'll be a lot easier for him to survive once he gets that.
1-for-1, but Gangplank got 3 plates.
That's also a problem.
175 a plate. Gangplank almost got 500 to 700 gold, plus 300 off of that kill in mid lane. So off of one play, they get a 1-for-1, but Gangplank gets 1,000 gold richer. So we're gonna see what he ends up buying off of this really expensive back. Yeah, the Cornfields and the pickaxe, that's what, 875 plus another 800? So he backed with about almost 2,000 gold.
32k gold ahead of the Ornn. Huge gold leads all across the map for... Or no, just in top and mid really. The other lanes are doing just fine.
Yeah, everyone seems to be sort of just chilling, and that gold lead is sort of exasperated by the fact that Gangplank
Chain Corruption does come in, and it's going to be followed up by so much CC, and Scott is going to fall just like that. Just no way of seeing something like that coming. My god.
Yeah, lots of confusion. Lots of confusion there. As I don't think Jaina expected 4 people mid.
Definitely not.
Yeah. I think they expected lethal from Garrus or Varus Chains. They expected lethal from Sejuani. They didn't expect lethal.
He's a little bit of trouble here. He's going to try and get out, but he's just so tanky already. But he is going to get burnt out by the Varus. He's 1 HP, and the E is not enough to, or isn't going to catch up with him. Excuse me. Definitely would have been enough to finish him, but wow, Arin's damage already is just so high. Might go for this Wit's End second. I almost definitely does want to go for that Wit's End second.
Yeah, potentially Wit's End or another on-hit item, maybe Quincy's, for the bonus attack speed. Because it seems like the way that Rinse wants to play this is just hit you as many times as possible, and then pop that Blight with his E or his Q. So Quincy's isn't a bad shout. Wit's End is also not a bad shout, giving you sort of equal attack speed. It's just the one gives you attack or crit converted to physical damage, and the one gives you just straight magic on hit.
That's the 4th neutral objective for the game now for PCS. Tristana gonna get caught out by the stun, but Cinder with no cooldowns could potentially look for something. Cargilly is here to save her, but Scott still down here. Could still look for something. I think once they know she's there, though, definitely gonna overstay too much. Janna weaving in and out of the way of these Ornn abilities. Ares is here to help. The Call of the Forger comes out. The Mordekaiser is here as well. It's absolutely slapped down. There's no way he can get out of this. The Rylai is constantly slowing. And the Mace comes down to end Janna's fun just for a little bit. He's got so much progress in this top side while Davos tries to impact the map.
Yeah, but really good, really smart move from Davos to open up with the Call of the Forge card. He didn't connect with the second part, but if he hits Gangplank with that, he might burn Gangplank orange before the fight starts, which means that Mordekaiser is almost guaranteed to kill with his ult.
Yeah.
Yeah, really well played on that gank. Burning Gangplank flash as well.
Yeah, but the importance of this strike definitely is not lost on E4, but they're going to lose so much mid. Jennifer is coming back to try and stem the bleeding to an extent. Frost sitting on the other side of the pit, going to look for a steal, but Ares is here with that smite ready. And they are going to get it. The Chain of Corruption comes in. Jennifer has to cleanse it instantly. Inhibitor Tower almost falling. Bed and Arins have full control of this E4 jungle now.
Yeah, really unfortunate that they lost their tier 2. Lots of gold on that Varus. I think he got all of it.
Delaying the soul point though is potentially worth it.
Yeah, we're gonna see how it develops from there. Losing that mid tier 2 does mean that Jaina Proudmore, however, can also farm slightly safer. Because that means that the mid lane minions are going to be pushing more towards them. They just need to get like one proper push going on, like what they're doing now. But you can see the pings coming off. They want to do something cheesy in the mid lane. Ornn doesn't have TP, Ornn doesn't have flash, there's no sums currently.
Ares finds himself in the middle of 3, the Gangplank versus Sejuani does so much damage, but the wins is just permanently slowed by the Rylai. Has to flash back towards his team. Mordekaiser's already so tanky. Isn't able to get it as the Call of the Forge comes in. Arin's is going to fall short right at the start of the fight. The Triumph comes in for Ares, he's able to stay alive. He's fighting Cargilly on his own at the start of the fight. The W shield is enough to keep him alive for a few seconds. Jonah's going to be able to come in and finish him off.
Davos is the only one that's getting away. Yeah, Tristana doesn't want any of that. Potentially, if Tristana was probably 5 seconds earlier, that's an ace in the other direction.
Davos does have to switch to the Ghost to run away, and that is a sight. And Ornn skipping away, Ghost in hand.
Yeah, and they're losing that topside jungle. However, like I said, Tristana can just catch that midway for free. Currently only 9 CS up, and how much gold up is she? Can we take a look at the gold individually? Because I don't think Tristan is that far ahead, but at the same time, I don't think she's that far behind.
Are so bad and slow.
Yeah, she's about 500 down. But 500 is 500 is 1 kill.
Gold on that gangplank. He's almost 3k gold ahead of everyone except his mid laner. See, it's just the gold is on these carries. It's on exactly. All the gold is exactly where you want it for PCS. They're gonna get caught out by that binding. The Ares standing, facing 3 members. Excuse me. With the 2 teammates next to him, he's gonna get his blue buff and walk away with it. Neither team really interested in taking this fight any further. Arin's going to look for this tier 1 in the bot lane. Blaze just maybe looks for more by Bedomu's here to protect him just in case.
Yeah, Varus is actually opted for... Varus looks like he is going to go that Wit's End. He also picked up a QSS. Yeah, I think previously...
Yeah, he does need that.
Yeah, but I think he picked it up in... I think he picked it up earlier because he did QSS out of Mordalt in that skirmish in topside.
Yeah, the gangplank as well, very good for getting out of these long, heavy CC binds like the Mord Q or the Mordekaiser ult, things like this.
As the first Ornn upgrade's going to go, he opted for the Radiant Virtue, which I understand. Lots of really, really good stats.
Yeah, you've already teamed ready from here anyway, so I think it's probably the best you do in this situation.
Yeah, just scaling up towards late game, probably putting that anathemas onto the Varus.
Primordial Dawn.
Yeah, there's some really, really wild stuff that Ornn can upgrade. I think Eclipse becomes Sigizzy or something.
Yeah, Sigizzy or something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Sigizzy, yeah.
Perfectly on brand for Davos. But I mean, it's not. It doesn't look good for PCS or for E4. Excuse me. There's been no, major throws. Just these little good plays from PCS all over the map. Bed always in good positions. Jonah playing really, really well on his top side. Made so much progress on his own. Might be looking at a solo kill here. Predator's pushed straight onto Dabby. He's gonna have to flash away for his life. And as well, Arin's those
but he has ultimate spellbook. He does have ultimate spellbook, so you can just swap out that flash for something like an exhaust or ghost again potentially. Yeah, it doesn't look like doesn't look like E4 is playing that badly.
Something very.
It doesn't feel like it's It feels like it's PCS's game to lose opposed to E4's game. Like it doesn't feel like they've lost the game at all.
Drake. The Varus was going to try and force them away, but a lot of cooldowns used. Not going to be able to capitalize anything.
Yeah, Ares actually gets the smites on the scuttle.
You can have a look at their vision. They cannot see anything.
But you can sort of assume
that Gaggle Bird's absolutely huge. Morgana's going to fall right side of the fight. Just like to flash away in the end. The shields are enough to keep Ares alive, but not for long. Cause the Forge God's going to come out maybe a little bit late. But then we're doing the Drake on his own as his team are slaughtering E4. Arin's out here on his own. Davis tries to dash back in, but he's just going to fall. He's going to get away just about with his life. They're not going to continue this fight. And
yeah, extremely unlucky. A slight miscommunication there, I think, with the Ornn ulti and the Mordekaiser engage. Ornn ulti comes in probably a second and a half earlier, and Mordekaiser doesn't die there. Gangplank gets killed almost immediately, and it's a drag in the other direction. As they're going to take this Baron very, very not too early in the game, but still a very early Baron to take with all of their waves pushing out like that.
Mid and top both 2.5 to 3k ahead of them. In fact, top is 4,300 gold ahead now. My god.
Yep. Such is the scourge of being a trust fund child like Gangplank, who has free gold in his passive.
Yeah, but I mean, something that I've noticed actually over the course of this game is that whenever E4 are looking for some way of getting back into the game, Bed is waiting to counter. I've seen it a few times now.
Yeah, we were talking about it in the pre-game.
Yeah.
He has a lot of these minor optimizations and being in like a place that inconveniences you the most. Right? we want to contest for drag, and Badoma is on Scuttle, right? Or he's hovering around Scuttle, so now Mordecai has to smite Scuttle if they want vision. But it doesn't really matter because you have control wards in the pit anyway. All around, Badoma's just been very, very silently like making it very, very hard to play the game.
Definitely not one of the big names like the Gangplank or the Varus in this game, but he's definitely doing his part. But I mean, it's just that gold lead is just slowly but surely stretching further and further apart, getting increasingly difficult to come back into this game for eToro.
But the all upgrades are coming through. Tristana getting the upgrade to Kraken Slayer. Mordecai hasn't finished Mythic yet. I assume he would be the next one to be receiving it. Probably a Jack Show item.
All about Scout of the Week going just wide. PCS actually looking for something here. They do have a ward to see, or E4 do have a ward, excuse me, to see anything they might try and go for over the wall. It's going to be taken away. Bad does get cut out by the Dark Binding, but doesn't even break through the shield. And Giant Proudmore is barely surviving on 1 HP, has to flash away straight into the cannon barrage. The Scout of the Week does land on the Blaziken. He's taking so much damage. The call before God comes out. He's going to get hit by the Symphony ult. He is somehow, nobody has died yet. This fight is going, I don't know what is even going on. Blaziken somehow managed to get away with his life.
Radiant Virtue on is
Look at the push of the flush over one Badoma. It's absolutely incredible. Immediately taking down Joseph. Ares here on his own in the middle of 3, not taking any damage. Tries to pull towards Sarah. The Scout of the Week and the stuns from such money are enough to take him down. Frost's going to get the kill in the end. The Janna ult healing everybody, that monsoon power. Late 26 minutes into this game, Davis is here on his own trying to defend this. Blaziken is getting hit by that Scout of the Week in the back. The tornado comes in. Davis is knocked up. He cannot move. He's taking so much damage. The root comes out onto a rinse, but he's going to be able to flash away. The Shibboleth is enough to save him. Davis is going to fall. And the last man standing is Blaziken. He's going to fall in the fountain. And PCS are going to take this game and become the first team with 3 wins.
Yeah, a really, really amazing showing from PCS, especially a Rinse in mid lane.